Today at Patacake, let's make some super tasty Goan style chicken samosas. That is, easy chicken keema samosas with homemade samosa sheets and a simple folding technique. You'll absolutely love these crisp and delicious samosas. Hey there, this is Veena from Patacake. A warm welcome to my channel. And if you're looking for authentic ingredient proportions and all the essential instructions for getting a recipe right, you've come to the right place. Like I mentioned, these samosas are easy to shape and easy to make. Now let's get started. However, there are lots of tips for you along the way. So watch till the end. We'll start with the filling. Here I have 350 grams of boneless chicken that I've cut into small pieces and will now mince in my mixer grinder. You could also start with ready-made chicken mince instead. Here's our minced chicken. Let's now marinate it with 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon garam masala, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoons of chilli powder, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, and 2 teaspoons of oil. We'll let this marinate for around 20 minutes. In this pan, I have 2 tablespoons of oil heating up on a medium flame. Let's throw in 4 finely chopped green chillies and saute these for a minute. Then let's add in 2 teaspoons of crushed ginger and 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic and saute this too for a minute. Next, we'll add in the marinated mince. Saute this for a couple of minutes. Cover the pan and let the chicken cook for 4 to 5 minutes on low heat. I had rinsed the bowl in which the chicken was marinated with around 2 tablespoons of water and will now add this to the pan. Let's cover the pan and let the chicken cook on low heat for another 4 to 5 minutes. You could add some extra water in between if necessary. Now that the chicken has cooked and all the water has evaporated, we'll add in 1 tablespoon of tomato sauce and 1 teaspoon of chilli powder. And then add in 2 finely chopped medium-sized onions. Let's saute this for 2 to 3 minutes till the onion is cooked. And then add in half a teaspoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt. And after that, stir in 1.5 teaspoons of lime juice. We'll now turn off the heat and then sample the filling and adjust the taste if necessary. The filling is delicious and needs no adjustments. Finally, we'll add in some chopped coriander and some chopped mint leaves. And then let the filling cool to room temperature. In the meanwhile, let's prepare the dough for the outer covering. To this vessel, I'll add 1.5 cups of maida. I had fluffed up the maida before measuring it. To it, we'll add half a teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of oil. Let's rub the oil into the maida. And then knead the flour mixture to make a medium soft and smooth dough with room temperature water. I used half a cup of water to make this dough. I'll coat the ball of dough with a few drops of oil. Cover it and let it rest for around 15 minutes. After that, we'll just knead the dough lightly for a minute and then divide it into 9 to 10 balls. I'll first divide it into 9 balls. Each of these has to be rolled into a thin disc of around 6 to 6.5 inches in diameter using a liberal dusting of maida. Let me roll out one ball to check it out. This one is exactly 6 inches in diameter. If your first disc turns out to be 7 inches or larger, then you'll have to redivide the dough into 10 balls. But if you're okay with making slightly larger samosas, then continue with the dough balls you already have. You could either spread all the discs out on the work surface or pile them in groups of 3 or 4, like this, adding a generous dusting of maida between the discs so that they do not stick to each other. I have rolled out all the discs, so here's what we'll do next. My tawa has been heating on a low flame for around 3 minutes, and with the heat on low, I'll lightly heat each disc on just one side on my hot tawa for just around 15 seconds, till it forms small bubbles on the top surface. Remember, the discs are heated not to cook them, but just to remove some of the moisture from them. I'll transfer the heated discs to a container with a lid. You could also use a casserole. We have to keep the heated discs covered so that they stay soft and don't become too stiff. Remember that they need to be thin and flexible and shouldn't be heated for too long. That done, we now have to cut each disc into 2 semicircular samosa sheets. You could cut each disc separately or cut them in batches of 3 or more with a knife or pizza cutter. These are 5 discs, and I'll now cut them into 10 samosa sheets. I'll first fold the topmost sheet in half. This is the central line along which I'll cut the sheets. I've cut all the discs, and here I have 18 sheets. We have to keep these covered while we shape and fill the samosas. But first, we have to prepare a thick and smooth paste with around 3 tablespoons of maida or all-purpose flour and some water. We'll use this paste while shaping the samosas. And here's our filling. It has cooled completely. Now let's shape the first samosa. We have to first find the central point of the straight edge. This is the point from which we'll bring the 2 outer ends together. We have to fold the first side and apply the paste liberally along this half of the straight edge, and then fold the other half of the straight side and let it slightly overlap the first one to shape the sheet into a cone. You can see we have a right angle at the central point of the cone. Now let's apply the paste and shape the first cone. I like to use my finger to apply the paste, but you could use a small brush if you want. Let's press the 2 sides together, and then I'll open up the cone, keeping the joint towards me. Let's now fill around 3/4 of the cone with around 1 tablespoon of the filling, adding just a little bit at first to fill the narrow pointed end. Now let's apply the paste liberally to the mouth of the cone. And then seal the mouth by pressing it to form a flat, approximately 1/2 inch broad border. How simple was that? Let's shape another samosa. Oh, I just remembered that I didn't show you the consistency of the paste. It shouldn't be too thin. It should be thick and smooth, like this. We'll now deep fry these samosas in batches. The oil in this vessel is heating on medium-low heat. Let's check if it's hot enough. Okay, I'll now reduce the heat to low because the samosas have to be fried on low heat and for a longer time to make sure they become crisp. A gentle reminder to please like this video if you find it useful and subscribe for more tasty recipes. We have to fry these samosas on low heat for the first 5 minutes. I'll now turn them over and increase the heat to medium and fry them, turning them over now and then, frying them on both sides till they get a golden brown color. These chicken samosas are ready to be removed from the oil. At this stage, I'll reduce the heat to low once again because we want to lower the temperature before adding the next batch of samosas. These two have fried beautifully. Check out the chicken samosas we made today. They fried perfectly. Don't these look tempting? Remember the tips I've given you about rolling the sheets, shaping the chicken samosas and frying them, okay? And then you won't go wrong. Okay, now time to do a taste test and show you how crisp our samosas are. Heard that? Wow, these are so tasty. You'll surely want to enjoy more than one, honestly. So do give my recipe a shot and tell me how you liked the samosas, okay? And if you liked this video, you might find my aloo samosa video interesting as well. Do check it out. See you in my next video. Until then, happy cooking!